What's happening right now from RTV6, the Indy channel.
And we begin tonight with new details on your family's safety and the growing worries about dangerous accidents on the rails.
It has become a topic of concern again after this week's collision between a semi and a freight train, a train that was hauling a container used to carry nuclear waste. RTV6 reporter Jack Reinhardt spent the day looking into this story, and he joins us with more from downtown. Jack.
Well, Todd, only a week ago, the head of the National Transportation Safety Board said the nation's railroads pose a catastrophic threat to the U.S. population. And as if to underscore that point here in Indianapolis, a collision on the rails only 2 days ago on the city's east side. A truck loaded with nearly 43,000 pounds of pineapples hung up on the CSX tracks at Roland, Massachusetts. Seconds later, a special Department of Defense train carrying a 500,000-pound container used to haul spent nuclear waste ripped the truck in two. Indianapolis Homeland Security officials called the rail transport a pre-planned event. They called the accident unforeseen.
You'd have to get with DOD to really get the information behind it. There's different things that come under that same type of design that come through, but we can't release the information. But we have a great relationship with CSX.
CSX hauls freight and hazardous materials across 2,700 miles of track throughout Indiana. And throughout Indianapolis, trains haul volatile cargo through some of the most critical infrastructure and the most densely populated neighborhoods in the city.
And these houses right here are so close to the railroad tracks, I mean, no warning or nothing, if that stuff starts spilling. I mean, nobody can go knock on every one of these doors so fast to try to get them out of there.
The CSX makes concessions to Indianapolis during major sporting events by posting railroad police officers along downtown rail lines. And it will not haul hazardous cargo through the city before, during, and after games at Lucas Oil Stadium and Bankers Life Fieldhouse. But this year alone, there have been 8 catastrophic rail accidents in the U.S. and Canada involving the derailments of trains hauling crude oil. According to transportation safety officials, the amount of crude oil hauled by the railroads has quadrupled in the past decade.
There's mechanical items, the train's mechanical in a sense. So, there's always been questions on, well, why did that train derail, in some part of the state, something failed.
Homeland Security officials say they regularly communicate with the CSX about sensitive shipments that pass through Indianapolis. And just this week, federal transportation officials sent a new package of reforms to the White House, urging them to take immediate action to protect the U.S. public, even if it means invoking emergency authority to do so. Reporting live downtown, Jack Reinhardt, RTV6.
Jack, thank you. And more details now about that nuclear waste container involved in this week's accident. Homeland Security officials say that the container has been tested by having bombs dropped on it. It has been crashed and dropped from the air, all without a container failure.